Salute, 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 YouTube. It's your boy Claymore Rain. It's the ATP Combat Media Show. Shout out to all my subscribers. Really appreciate the support. If this is your first time seeing this content, I advise you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit your bell icon so you're getting all your alerts when this content is dropping. So it looks like Chris Eubank Jr. and Terence Crawford are trying to coordinate something for the summer. That's what the rumors are, at least. Chris Eubank posting yesterday, I believe, on if not yesterday, day before yesterday, but I feel like it was yesterday, when he posted up on Instagram a flyer of him and Terence Crawford, you know, basically hinting out to everybody that it looks like a realistic fight that was getting ready to be put together. As information is coming out more and more, it seems like they're trying to coordinate it for the summer. You know, the space has been wanting to see Terence Crawford come back. He hasn't fought since Errol Spence, and that was a dominating a performance that he put out there. Obviously, there was a rematch clause that was activated by Errol Spence, but due to, you know, injuries and whatever other setbacks going on, some people rumor that the PBC just didn't want to pay for the fight because a lot of people weren't really interested in seeing the rematch. There's been all types of reasons and stories as to why that fight hasn't been put together. The most important thing about it is it's not happening from what everybody can tell. Terence Crawford is no longer held or is no longer having any type of legal reason to stay connected to a rematch with Errol Spence. So it looks like he's trying to move forward and move on with his career and figure something out. And it looks like Chris Eubank Jr. is going to be the one that he's looking to do it with. Why? Everybody's got to be asking why, because Terence Crawford made it clear that his next couple of fights, he wanted to make it for big money. He wants to, you know, invest into his prize fighting part of his career, being that he's on his way out the door. He also mentioned that he wanted to fight Canelo Alvarez, but as you guys know, Canelo Alvarez respectfully declined the offer, said there was nothing in it for him. Fighting somebody like Terence Crawford would just, if he did beat Terence Crawford, would just have people saying he beat somebody who was small and what they expect. And obviously, if he was to lose against Terence Crawford, you know, risk-reward wise, it didn't make sense for Canelo Alvarez. So him going 160 pounds now to fight Chris Eubank Jr., it seems a little strange because Chris Eubank Jr. really brings nothing to the table. I mean, I guess he has some star power in England. Maybe he's real powerful out in the UK, which leads me to believe that this fight would be happening in the UK because as far as the United States is concerned, nobody really cares about Chris Eubank Jr. like that. He's not even a title holder of any kind. And there's also rumors out there that Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency, might be getting involved with this. And, you know, if His Excellency is involved, that means there's a lot of money involved. And it's an opportunity to check one of those boxes for Terence Crawford to get some good money, right? We'll never really know what it is until they actually make it official, put it out there. Then maybe we'll get some perspective on it. Another thing that I would look into, you know, I mean, that does kind of give me some concern is the conflict of interest there. And if you guys don't know what I mean, what I'm saying is Bomac, the trainer of Terence Crawford, actually had went overseas to train Chris Eubank Jr. to go ahead and fight Liam Smith in that rematch where Chris Eubank Jr. actually ended up stopping Liam Smith. So he helped him do that. And if you guys remember, Bomac caught the little gun charge over there in England trying to come back. I guess there was a gun in his bags, whatever have you. But from what I understand, that's been cleared up and he should be allowed back in England. But we have to see that, you know, more than likely what's going to happen, what I would expect to happen is that Bomac's going to stay true to Terence Crawford, and then Chris Eubank Jr. has to find a trainer to get him ready for the fight if it does happen in the summertime. You guys also know that Chris Eubank's coach used to be Roy Jones, but Roy Jones had some conflict of interest as well, being he had a whole operation going on in the United States. He had fighters that he was training in the United States, and he was having a hard time splitting that time up with the fighters he had here in Florida, with flying to Europe, obviously, to the UK to train Chris Eubank Jr. So it'll be interesting to see who he finds to train him if this fight does go through. So there's a little bit of conflict of interest there, but I'm pretty sure they can figure that out pretty easily. I'm not going to go into breaking down the fight right now because honestly, until the fight is real, I don't want to get my head all gassed up about it. But I mean, look, Chris Eubank Jr. is a puncher boxer. Same thing as Terence Crawford. I'm sure it'd be a good fight at the end of the day. If you're asking me right now, off the top of my head, I would still lean towards Terence Crawford. He's a pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. I'm always going to lean towards him. You know, not taking anything away from Chris Eubank Jr., but Terence Crawford is just a pound-for-pound great fighter. If I thought he could beat Canelo Alvarez, for sure, I think he could beat Chris Eubank Jr. And we'll see how that turns out. You know, some people are saying that he's acclimating to a bigger weight. class at 160. Kind of opens up his options, because if Canelo does become available, he can go ahead and gain 8 pounds and go up to 168. And also, if he feels like it and he sees an opportunity at 154 to potentially take one of the titles down there, he can easily come down 6 pounds to go down there. So I guess 160 is a nice middle ground for him to be at. But we'll see what happens, man. Conflict of interest with Bomac. We'll see how he figures that out. We'll see where the fight's going to be. Is Turkey Al-Sheikh going to be involved in this, or is this going to be something exclusively just Queensberry or Matchroom or whoever? I don't even know what promotional company does the work for Chris Eubank Jr. I guess we can get that information too in the coming days. But yeah, that's what the story is. It's Terence Crawford. It's Chris Eubank Jr. It's the summertime. We don't know where it's going to be. I would say also at this point, let's just get this out the way, the elephant in the room. And what's the elephant in the room? Terence Crawford, you're the undisputed welterweight champion of the world. Well, unified at this point, because they stripped you for one of your belts, the IBF belt. At this point, if you're going to go to 160 to go and fight a Chris Eubank Jr. and talking about potentially fighting as high as 168, no lower than 154, at this point, vacate the belts. You know, I don't see why he would hold on to the belts at this point. It only makes sense to me to vacate the belts and allow the welterweight division to move forward. You know, you got Boots Ennis sitting down there who's just basically waiting on the opportunity to either fight you for the belts that you have or waiting for you to vacate them so he can fight and begin his mission to unify all those belts and becoming undisputed champion in his own right. And at that point, go to 154, which is where I believe ultimately is where he should be at right now, being that nobody at 147 is really trying to fight him. I mean, I don't want to get all into it, but vacate the belts, Terrence. Let the belts go, for the love of God. Let the belts go. You know, these fighters who are holding on to these belts just to be petty, just to be holding on to them. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. We got to do better. But that's pretty much where I'm at with it, man. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this whole fight with Terence Crawford and Chris Eubank Jr. Does it make any sense? Do you think it's going to help him acclimate at all? Who's going to be paying for the fight? Is it going to be Turkey? Is something else getting organized? Where's Bud Crawford landing as far as promotional company is concerned? Is he going over to the Zone? Is he coming back to the PBC? Is he going to be able to facilitate this fight just under his own promotional banner possibly? You never know, right? But let me know what you guys think. And about those belts, should he hold on to them or should he vacate them? I don't think any of you guys got the heart to say he should keep those belts. But, you know, I'm sure we have some fans out there who don't care or would rather him hold the belts just to piss everybody off. But, yeah, tell me what you think. But at that note, and at this point, it's your boy Claymore Rain. It's the ATP Combat Media Show. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, hate, whatever you do. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit your bell icon so you get all these alerts when the content's dropping. And at this point, we out.